Welcome! It's a great day to be a miner because we got a couple of brand new ASICs to set up. We're going to get these things set up. We're going to tell you the specs, the features, the price, and all that jazz. But first, let's spin that intro. All right, today we have two brand new ASICs to set up, and I've been actually sitting on these for a little while. I've been waiting to get the good amount of time to set these up and test them out and have a little fun with them, and today is the day. First and foremost, disclaimer, I picked both these up with my own money, and the opinions in this video are that of my own, and so yeah. That being said, let's get these things opened, unboxed, and get them set up. First and foremost, where did I get these from? These were both from Bitcoin merch, and again, I picked them up with my own money. So this one is the smaller of the two. We'll start with it. We'll open both of these, we'll look at them, and then we'll go over the specs, the features, and then we'll get them set up and get them mining. So they are both Bitaxe variants, and a Bitaxe is just basically a little mini circuit board with a single Bitcoin ASIC chip on there, and then it has its own little display screen. It's got a cooler and a little fan to keep that chip running nice and cool. This is the Bitaxe 1366, and it comes with the power supply, which is just like a little mini brick type power supply, and it does have the Bitcoin merch logo on there. It did not come with this stand. I actually 3D printed this stand myself, and I'll make sure to put links for the file for the stand. And then what else was in the box? We had just some free swag, some free stickers, a little Bitcoin mining sticker, a Satoshi we are hashtag Satoshi sticker, Bitcoin merch sticker, of course, a little card that says how to set up the Bitaxe 1366 Ultra video guide, and it has a QR code to scan that will take you to the video, and then a little card that says thank you for your purchase with Bitcoin merch and to rate the product. There is one more sticker in here, and it's just got a Bitcoin, and it looks like a hemp leaf, so there's that. And that is, oh, one more sticker hiding in there, another Bitcoin merch logo. So that's what was hiding in there, and we're gonna set these ones to the side. That's what comes in the box for the Bitaxe Ultra 1366. Now let's open the other one. Again, I went ahead and 3D printed myself a nice stand for it, but I haven't hooked it on there yet. This is actually interesting. It's a different power supply for this one. I know this one does take just a slight bit more wattage at 15 watts compared to 11, but yeah, so that's odd that we're doing a mini power brick on this one with the actual plug in the wall. This is an all-in-one. This is a two-piece. You can tell I haven't even opened this one really. So it came with a nice little USB fan, and I don't know that a normal order will come with that or if they just threw that in for my purchase, but it has a little USB and it has a little fan, and you can plug it into a USB slot and bend it and it'll help cool, but we're not even going to use that for this type since it has the included cooling on it. So yeah, here it is. This is the Bitaxe 401 Supra, and this is an upgraded chip and actually has a little more horsepower than this one. But you can see this is how it comes. There's no screen on there at all yet, and it's just like this, and you have to put the screen on, and then if you're gonna put it on some sort of stand like me, I'm gonna screw it onto this stand right here, just like that one, and that'll be how it sits. So what else is in this one? That was the protective magnetic bag that we had it in. We'll talk about that in just a second. Here is the little screen. It's just about maybe a 1/2 inch by maybe 1.5 inch screen, the same one that's on here. And then you just have to hook it in through these slots up here. There's 4 holes, and that's all there is to the screen. Slide it through just like that, and there's your screen. You can pull the protective plastic. I'm gonna leave mine on there. It came with, again, a couple stickers, a nice little Bitcoin logo, a couple of Bitcoin merch logos. So we didn't get as many stickers with that one, but that's okay. And then again, a little card that says how to set up the Bitcoin, the Bitaxe Supra video guide, and it has a QR code to scan to watch the video. And then again, the please leave us a 5-star review card. And then the one random interesting thing that they included on this, which is kind of neat, it's interesting, a 100 Republic of Venezuela, their money, Banco Central de Venezuela. And then it says, this is a real Venezuelan Bolivar fiat bill. Governments and banks are printing unlimited money, making fiat currency useless. Check out our Bitcoin merch or miners at bitcoinmerch.com. That's really an interesting spin. This is probably worth like a penny, I bet. We'll have to look that up later, but I bet this bill is worth like 1 cent. Okay, so let's go over the specs and the features of both of these, and we'll give you up front the price on them so that you can compare the price to the performance. Then we'll go ahead and physically set these up, and we're gonna fire them up and get them mining. So again, this is the smaller of the two and also the cheaper of the two. This is a Bitaxe Ultra 1366. It does 425 gigahash on only 11 watts. It is using a S19 XP ASIC chip underneath of there, and it runs $119.99 from the Bitcoin merch site. Again, I'll put links to all this stuff down in the description. Now, this one is the bigger of the two. It is the Bitaxe 401 Supra, and it runs 600 gigahash on 14 watts. So it's actually more efficient, slightly about the same, little bit more efficiency, a lot more hash rate from 425 to 600, and it runs on an S21 ASIC chip, so newer technology, more efficient, more power, and it runs $149.99. So yeah, there is the bigger version, there is the littler version, and we're gonna get these both set up. We'll get them solo mining. That's what these are. These are lottery miners. You can't really, I mean, you could put them on a pool mine, but you're gonna make so little rewards, it's not worth it. These are made as lottery miners. They're made to set up, set on a solo pool, whether it be Bitcoin or it be another on the same SHA-256 algorithm. You don't have to run them on Bitcoin. You could run them on another one, Digibytes, Bitcoin Cash, one of these other SHA-256. On those, you're more likely to hit a block, but of course your blocks are way smaller than if you hit a Bitcoin block. For me, I'm setting these up mining, and I'm gonna set them up on a solo pool, and I'm just gonna let them run till infinity, and if they hit a block someday, you'll hear me make a video of me going yippee yippee and telling you guys why you should have done this. So there's what we got. $120, $150, 425 gigahash, 600 gigahash, 11 watts, 15 watts. There's your price comparison, your performance, and yeah. So now let's physically get this one added on here. We'll mount it, and then we're gonna fire them up. We're gonna set up one at a time. We'll set this one up, then we'll set that one up. Okay, so let's start with the 1366. By the way, I had some struggle finding the screws that I had set aside. So yeah, these are some miscellaneous, and they kind of stick out a little bit, but it seems to be on there pretty decent. So yeah, it is what it is. On this one, I had already pre-mounted, and then I had extra screws sitting aside, and I lost them. So there. Yeah, so this is the 1366. Let's start by simply unraveling the twisty tie, and we're gonna plug this thing in and let it boot for the first time. So the cord is about 3 foot long, so not a really long cord. So hopefully we can get it easily over to our power source and our power meter. We're gonna plug it in right here. and then we're gonna run it back and plug it into the wall. We're plugged in, and right off it says connecting to SSID, my SSID, retrying in 4, 5, and then it's going to keep trying to connect. So right off the bat, the fan spooled up, and the fan is blowing pretty hard. It's just a 40 by 40 by, I believe it's a 20 millimeter thick fan. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use our phone. We're going to go into our Wi-Fi settings, our Wi-Fi connection, and we're going to scan, and we're going to see if the Wi-Fi will pick up this device. So right there, I'll put a screenshot up on the screen. It's showing a Bitaxe underscore D695. So I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to see if it'll connect to it. It's saying checking the quality of your internet connection, not secured, as it's trying to connect. This still says connecting to SSID. Now it says connected without internet, not secured, so it is connected to it. And then I'm going to go and open up a web browser. All right, so I connected my phone to the device using the Wi-Fi settings, and it says in their actual setup that it should pop up a screen initially. It should say, if prompted to continue connected to, without internet access, you select yes, because this isn't going to get you to the internet. And then it says, once connected, a web page should automatically open to continue setup. It didn't. It says, if it doesn't, manually visit, and they give an address, msftconnecttest.com. And this time the msftconnecttest.com did work. It got me to the Axe OS, and I'll take a screenshot real quick and show you what that looks like. And then up in the corner, we're going to hit the 3 lines, the hamburger, so that we get the menu. So we got menu, dashboard, swarm, settings, and log. So we're going to go into our settings, and we're going to get connected to, we're going to put in our Wi-Fi SSID. Make sure it is exactly how your SSID is and your Wi-Fi password. So we're going to do that real quick. Okay, so then we put under our settings, the first thing you're going to do, put your Wi-Fi SSID, make sure it's exactly how the SSID is for your Wi-Fi network. Make sure you put in your password correctly. Next, we're going to put in our Stratum URL, our Stratum port to go with it, so our mining pool and the actual port number that we're mining to. Then we're going to put our Stratum user is our Bitcoin address, and then a Stratum password, which is generally X on most pools. And then it's got the default frequency and the default core voltage, which we're going to leave at 485 and 120 respectively. Let's show you what this will look like up on the screen. And that's what it'll look like. Of course, your SSID will go on the top line. Mine will be blurred out, and then you'll have your password, your pool address, your port, and your Bitcoin address, and then of course your password. So we're gonna go plug all these things in, and then we're going to go back, and then we're gonna hit save. And at the bottom it says save. You must restart this device after saving for changes to take effect. So after we save those settings, we'll go and we'll hit the menu again, and we'll do a restart. So let's go get that done. Okay, so we went ahead and put our pool. To find a pool, first and foremost, if you need a Bitcoin pool or any other SHA-256 algorithm, go to miningpoolstats.stream, and then you can select by the algorithm or by the coin, and then you can find all of the pools that are mining on there. We can pop a quick screenshot of that up on the screen. That's how you can select your pool. Make sure that it is available to solo mine. Then you will navigate to that actual pool, and then from that pool, it'll give you instructions. It'll give you the Stratum, which will be the URL, the pool that you're mining to, and it'll give you the port number to use. There are usually different port numbers for different difficulties for different power devices. For our usage, we are going to use Lucky Monster, which is a good solo mining pool, and where the URL on it is actually btc.luckymonster.pro. Put that up on the screen, and then we're using port 7112. Normally on most devices, most ASICs, you'll put in Stratum plus TCP : / then you will put your btc.luckymonster.pro. But on this one, it explicitly says do not include Stratum plus TCP / or the port number. So you're only going to put btc.luckymonster.pro. The port is 7112. Your Stratum user is your Bitcoin wallet address, and then you can put dot and the worker name. So for me, I put dot Bitaxe 1366, so I know it's my 1366 and not my 400 that we're going to set up later. And then for my password, Stratum password, I put an X. I'm leaving the frequency at 485 default, the core voltage at 1200 default. We're leaving flip screen, invert fan polarity, the automatic fan control, all the same. And then we're going to hit save. Now it says save successful in the OS here. And now, before it'll actually get mining, we have to, like it said, restart. So we'll hit the 3 lines in the top corner again. We'll hit underneath, it says restart. We're gonna hit our restart button. And then it says Bitaxe restarted successfully. So right now, the little screen says connecting to SSID, and now it says my SSID and not whatever the default was in there. So now it is actually trying to connect to the network, and my phone automatically disconnected from it because now I just got a YouTube notification. So I know that it went back to a regular network and is no longer connected to this guy. So now if I actually try to connect to it, it's not going to see it from the web page anymore. I lost my Bitaxe OS. Or rather, it's just called Axe OS, but I lost it on here. So now let's see what it's doing. It's still showing all 0. It now shows my fan RPM, my temperature, 2572 RPM, temp 52, power 11 watts. It's showing my IP address, so that you'll need that. So my local IP address, 192.168.1.109. So now if I want to get back to this thing, that's where I need to go, 192.168, and I lost it, so it fired up. Gigahash right out the gate, 674. So that is well over the 600 advertised, but that could just be an initial spike, and that doesn't necessarily mean that's what it's going to keep mining at. To get what it's actually going to be mining at, we'll have to see in the dashboard of the pool after some time, because no matter what it says here, what is important is the hash rate that it's showing on the pool. That's what the actual hash rate that we care about is. So it's showing my RPMs have moved up to 4,500. 58C with a power of 12 watts, and there's my IP that I need, .1.109. And so I opened a browser, and now I put in the 192.168.1.109, and that is now, because this is connected to my main router, this is connected to the main router. Now I can get to this IP from my phone or from a computer, laptop. Open a browser, type in the 192, and it's showing right here, right off the bat, hash rate 674.72, expected 433. Yeah, because this is a 1366. This is only supposed to do 425, and now it just spiked clear up to 852 on here. Again, take all that with a grain of salt. It's just firing up. It's just getting started. What it shows in the mining pool after X amount of time, after an hour, after 3 hours, after 6 hours, that's your real hash rate, because you can get an average. You want to get a real average, you do a 24-hour hash rate, get the average, that's what it's hashing at, not whatever it says on the screen, whatever it says in the Axe OS dashboard. But we'll pop a picture of this up on the screen with what it's showing currently at this snapshot, 852.99. 3 shares accepted, 1 rejected, 14.3 watts per terahash, and it shows the difficulty. And then of course it has the nice hash rate chart at the bottom and the power usage. We'll put a couple pictures of all of this up on the screen to share. Heat, performance, then at the bottom it actually shows the pool information. So now I'm gonna go check it at the pool and see what it's hashing at, see if it's registering already. It might take 10 minutes before it shows up on a pool. 10 to 15 minutes on some of these pools, especially with a low hash rate item such as these. They won't show really quickly. They take a while to register those shares on the pool, and then once so many pools shares are registered on that pool, then it'll actually show your hash rate. So yeah, I'm gonna go check that on the pool real quick, and then we'll come back and make sure that we're still up and hashing properly. Let's go. Okay, so this one's been fully set up. It's been running quite some time now. It's really averaging about 450-ish gigahash at the pool, so that's great that it's doing well above the advertised speed. I'm showing 210 shares, 4 rejected, and the rejected were early on when it got started. At least 2 of them were when it was just firing up, which is pretty normal. And then it shows my nice chart here, and it really is averaging probably around 460, I would say, based on the little scale here. We did have a little issue right at first getting to load the AXOS on the page, running that. It should automatically pop up. They say it didn't pop up. Then it also gives you that address to go to, and that address didn't find it. It's supposed to find it. Restarted a couple times, and then boom, it found it off of that address. And then we were able to then put in our SSID for our Wi-Fi and connect. And now it's running great. It's only using about 12 watts at the wall. It's showing currently 455 gigahash, so that's pretty solid. So yeah, that one's fully set up. Now we're gonna do the same thing for this one. We're just gonna do a quick setup. We'll spare you the entire setup of it, but we'll discuss any pitfalls or anything that goes wrong with the second setup as well. We're gonna do it exact same. We're gonna set it up with the same exact pool, and then we're gonna see what hash rate we're getting at the pool and on the device, and make sure what our power usage is, and we'll discuss. So let's make it happen. Time warp ready, go. Bam, the future has arrived, and just like that, this thing has been up and hashing for some time, and man, this second one was so much easier to set up. One, because now I've done it and I've already jumped through the hoops for this one. And 2, because when I connected to the Wi-Fi, it didn't auto launch the page like it's supposed to, but it by just simply going to the web on my phone and launching the address they tell you, it pulled it right in. It found the AXOS, and then from there I simply changed the Wi-Fi SSID, the password, the pool, the Bitcoin address. I restarted and it fired right up. It took about 15 minutes to show on the pool, which is really normal, especially for a smaller miner that's not sending a ton of shares. And it's just been hashing away. Easy peasy. This one was the way to go. So there was one really big key aspect that I liked about this one, way over this one, and it's this power supply. This little brick, one, it has the nice power light on it, but 2, it gives you like 6 feet of cord, because you've got this piece and then you've got the other piece. And number 2 is that it has the small normal US plug rather than the big block that you have to plug in that takes up 2 outlets and takes up a bunch of space. And when you've got a whole bunch of little mini miners and stuff like that, then you run out of outlet space kind of quick. So yeah, that's the entire setup. These things are really neat. Now let's talk about profitability and ROI. Chances are you'll never hit a block. That's laying it out there. Your chances are super itty bitty of ever hitting that block, but the investment is itty bitty too. The maintenance is itty bitty. There's no maintenance. You fire it up, you let it run. As long as you've got power to it, it just keeps hashing away in the background. And maybe someday you hit a block and your wallet becomes fat and you're like, what just happened? Yippee skippy. This one was $120. This one was $200. This one was actually $150 now. It has price drops. So this one's $150, this is $120. What would I suggest? I would 100% suggest the $150 one, just based on the power supply, the added hash rate, and the added efficiency. So this one is a 20, it's currently at 620 gigahash, and that's 21 watt per hash. Let's see what this one's going. It takes a minute to flash back to the screen. I wish it had a toggle where you could quickly switch back. Still the wrong screen. It's got 3 screens. So this one's currently doing 464 gigahash, which is watt to terahash is 626. So definitely less efficient on this guy. So yeah, full disclosure, if you do buy one of these, make sure to click one of the links down below and that'll give me a small referral kickback. Personally, I love these mini miners. I have 3 of the Avalon Nano 3s. I've got a full setup video on that up above. You can check that out with full links on how to get it as well. I've got the Mars Lander, which is a beautiful piece of hardware, but when you're talking about the hash rate to efficiency to cost is astronomically more than this or the Nano 3. So it's a beautiful talk piece, but I don't know that I would advise it compared to something like this. I've got the Jingle Miner, mini miner here on a mere 76 kilohashes. And yeah, I've got more mini miners, solo miners en route. So stay tuned for those. I think that about wraps it up for today. I think the main question is, should you buy this? And would I suggest buying these? Number one is, I would not suggest buying these if you do not have expendable income. Never put yourself in a bad financial situation. If you cannot, never invest what you cannot afford to lose. So there it is. That's out of there on the line. The chances of ever hitting are pretty slim, but it's a fun way to get into the crypto game. Hey, Future Altered here, and I just forgot one key point. About 2 months ago, somebody hit a Bitcoin block on one of these. Actually, it was the smaller one, on this 1366. It can happen. It does happen. That's all I wanted to put out there into the ether, is that it is possible. So I think that about wraps it up today. If you're new to mining and you need some help, make sure to join the Misfit Mining Discord. Always plenty of seasoned vets in there willing to help you out. And if you like the video, you know what to do. Smash that like button and subscribe for future content. Thanks for coming along and enjoy the ride.